Racial profiling began way back and started because of racism and slavery. Racial profiling is illegal and villainous. The reason racial profiling is so terrible is because we use race by law enforcement or private security officials as a basis for criminal suspicion. In other words, law enforcement will pull you over just by the way you look. We chose this topic because it's so devastating. Even today there's a lot of racism, even though we know it's morally wrong. It's very important to stop racial profiling because children should learn from the adults that judging people by the way they look is wrong.
Racial profiling increased on September 11, 2001, also known as 9/11. We saw the increase in racial profiling mostly in airports. Like America is a scaredy cat, we freaked out after 9/11 and worked more to keep our airports safer. Well, kind of. We questioned different ethnic groups more than white Americans. This affects men, women, and children of all ages, including Asians, African, Native, Hispanics, Persians, Americans, also including Muslims, many visitors, and immigrants that come to the United States. We believe the mockingbirds of today are people we consider normal, but some people consider them terrorists. Mockingbirds don't do one thing but make music for us to enjoy. They don't eat up people's gardens, don't nest in corn crib. They don't do one thing but sing their hearts out for us. That's why it's a sin to kill a mockingbird. Who does that sound like? It should sound like the victims of racial profiling. Some of these victims are Asians, African, Native, Hispanic, and Persian American. This also includes Muslim, many visitors, and immigrants that come to the United States.
Certain actions we can take to prevent racial profiling. Enforce the law that you may only pull specific people out of line is if they act suspicious. 2. You have to have a meeting at every airport with the airport officials and discuss that if anyone is caught judging people by their race, their salary will decrease by $500. If it happens again, it will decrease by another $500 and keep going down. 3. You would put airport officials to a test, like they're in a fake airport and you have one Muslim and the rest white. The one white man will have a fake bomb on them and hidden. The Muslim will be doing nothing wrong and will test to see who the cop stops first.
Some people think this only happens in rare occasions, but it actually happens more than you think. And there has been many stories reported, such as, I quote, from the rare cases of Sandra and Omar. Imagine how I felt when my 8-year-old son was pulled from the line because of his name, and I could not go with him. Imagine how he felt when they started taking apart his Boy Scout Pinewood Derby car in the Boy Scout box. It is now a routine for my son, for Omar Renee, to get an extra security check at the airport. He knows it's going to happen and expects it. But how do I tell my son that it's okay? He is now 10 and learning about civil liberties and civil rights. What meaning do they have for him?
Case Mohammed El Rosso, I quote, Mr. El Rosso says, they think September 11 is our fault. We have to take responsibility for it. They think America is going to be a better place without us.
The one we found that was most surprising would be the story about Herboyd. I quote, during a flight to Detroit in December 2001, I noticed my ticket had a red dot on it. I didn't pay any attention till I discovered I was standing in line with several others. All of them Arabs, or Arab descent. We all were virtually stripped before entering the plane. 2 of them, they have told me that they had endured such searches every flight they took. What I was to learn in successive flights that a black man carrying a kloof or an Arabic garment was doubly suspicious. So any perceived satisfaction I may have mentorally delivered for not being the main target of racial profiling. This is post September 11, 2001. America gradually vanished.
As Leo shows, people from the Middle East have been pulled away for pointless reasons. Finally, someone gives them a reason to be pulled away 6 different times. This person was a white Maryland student. He took 6 different flights. He took a box cutter, bleach, matches, and a few more things. Says he got away with it because he never fit the profile.
As you can see, the world is far from perfect, but one thing we can do to make it a better place is to quit racial profiling for once and for all.